Good morning. Welcome to Criminal Justice, CJC 132, Court Procedures and Evidence. My name is Kelly Schoolcraft, and I'm going to be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. Um, the purpose of this video is to provide you all a quick orientation to this course, and mainly to show you where to access your assignments, to include the enrollment verification assignment, which is very, very important for you all to complete. So I want to keep this relatively short because I do want to give everybody an opportunity. But the first thing I will say is, over the next 24 hours, what I invite you all to do is get into this course and explore these links over here. There is important information, instructor information, the syllabus, assignments, discussion boards, so on and so forth. The first thing that you should pull up is the syllabus on this link. So if you click the little tab here, you'll see a hyperlink here. When you click on that, it will bring up a copy of the syllabus. So please take some time to read through this. Everything on here is very, very important. Just, for the purposes of this video, I want to highlight a couple areas for you all. Right here is your course evaluation criteria. There are 5 categories of assignments: orientation assignments, discussion board initial post, discussion board responses, check on learnings, and the ticket out the door. These are categories. There are 2 orientation assignments. There are 4 initial posts to discussion boards. You are assessed 4 times on your participation in those discussion boards. You have 8 check on learnings and 2 ticket out the doors. There are no midterms, there is not a final for this course either. The second thing I want to point out to everyone on the syllabus is the course schedule. This is a quick synopsis of when everything is due and what is due and the assignments. Again, I'm not going to go through this on this video. The main thing I wanted to point out here is the enrollment verification assignment and your course orientation quiz. These 2 assignments make up your orientation assignment. For those who have been at Halifax for a while, you know that there's a census assignment that everyone has to complete. For this course, that census assignment is the enrollment verification assignment. You must complete this assignment by midnight on August 21st in order to remain in this course. If you do not complete this assignment by this date, I have to mark you as a no-show, and which will result in you being dropped from this course. So like I said, the main purpose of this is to show everybody where that assignment is and how to access that. So you can access it in one of 2 ways. What I recommend doing is going into assignments. When you go here, the only thing that you're going to see is orientation assignments. So I have the Blackboard set up so that it kind of funnels everybody into that enrollment verification assignment. Once you complete that enrollment verification assignment, and I'll show you this here in a second, you will see the rest of the course populate. You will see the rest of the modules. So you can access it here in orientation assignments. As you can see, the first thing that pops up is enrollment verification assignment. Or you can access that assignment here in the discussion boards, because the enrollment verification assignment is actually a short discussion board. So I'm going to do it from assignments. If you go in here, you'll see that initial post must be completed by 8/21. Okay. This is very, very important because, like I said before, if it's not, I have to mark you as a no-show. This assignment does require you to respond to 2 classmates. All the discussion board assignments will have a link here to a grading rubric. The grading criteria I will always list on these assignments to give you an idea of what is expected. But for full details of grading details, you can click on this rubric here. That always pops up, but just click OK. And you can see this is how it's assessed. So 60 points is by getting an initial post completed by August 21st. And then I do ask that you respond to 2 classmates. If you respond to 2 classmates or post 2 responses, that's 40 points. 1 response, 20. And then if you don't respond to anybody, there's 0 points. So you can kind of see how that's broken down. So to get in here, simply click on the enrollment verification link, create a thread. Just for the purposes of the video, just going to do hello, hello. Once you submit, you will see that your thread posted. If you hit submit and you don't see anything in here, that means that your assignment did not get posted, okay? Just a quick note or advice with discussion boards. What I recommend doing is when you type any discussion board, I recommend typing it on a Word document and then copying and pasting it into the thread box. That way, if it does not, if for whatever reason there's an error in Blackboard, you're not having to retype everything. So just food for thought. All right, so once you post that initial thread, if you go back to assignments, now that you'll see module 1, 2, 3, all the way to module 8 has populated for you guys. So like I said, you do have to respond to 2 classmates. There's another assignment in here called the course orientation quiz. This is very important because this is going to get you acclimated to taking the check on learnings in this course, but it's also going to drive you all to read the syllabus and the criterias for the discussion board assignments, which are very, very important. So you to take this, you click on the link, click on begin, and as you can see here, 10 questions. You have a matching question. What's really important here is this question 10. They're all important, but this question 10 is an essay and it's worth 30 points. And I'm not looking for you guys to write necessarily a whole paragraph. I do want you guys to answer these 4 questions, okay? Because these are very, very important. If you need help on this, please shoot me an email. But the main thing that I'm trying to get everybody to focus on here is that your discussion board initial posts and your participation are graded separately. And I do want you to read how these assignments are graded. So if you go, once you complete the enrollment verification assignment, you go back to assignments. You can access those discussion board rubrics in one of 2 ways. You can go to My Grades, and when you go to My Grades, you will see, your grades will populate here, and you'll see that every writing assignment has a rubric. Okay, you can click on the rubric there, or like I showed you before, if you go into Module 1, scroll down, you'll see Discussion Board 1, and you can click on the rubric there. What I wanted to point out here is that, so each module, when you go into it, you're going to have a quick introduction, module outcomes, module assignments, and module resources. In the resources, these are supplemental resources to the readings, but ensure that you all are reading the chapters in the textbook. So your discussion boards, you get graded in 2 ways for your discussion boards. You get a grade for your initial post, and you get a grade for your responses. What's really important here is that your discussion board initial post is going to be due in the odd modules. What that means is, as you can see here, discussion board 1 initial post is due by 8/25. Okay. If you go to module 2, you will see that your discussion board 1 responses and participation is due by 9/1. What that means is you essentially have 2 weeks to work and have a discussion with your classmates. You have 1 week to post an initial post, and you have 1 week to complete your responses and participation. Okay. If there's anything about the early bird gets the worm, this applies very much so with the discussion boards. The earlier you post, uh, the more chances that you're going to have to interact with your classmates. So if you click on the rubric, click OK. This is the full grading criteria here for your initial post. All right, so definitely read through this. The key with the initial post is that I want you to treat this, as I say here in the first sentence here, treat your initial post as if it were an essay. Okay, treat it as if you're typing an essay. That means include in-text citations and a reference list, limit quotations, use proper grammar, those types of things. Then your responses, you must post at least 5 responses. What I mean by that is you don't have to respond to 5 different students. What I'm looking for is that you post 5 responses. And the purpose for that is for you all to engage in a conversation with each other. And so there are certain things that make up a good conversation. The first thing is that you don't wait until the last minute to respond to classmates, okay? So I'll show you this. If you view rubric, grading criteria and the number of responses, you're graded on the timely of responses. So this is where this line right here is worth 20 points. If you post all of your responses on the final 24 hours, you get 0 points here, okay? The reason for that is if you post all your responses in the final 24 hours, it is very unlikely that any of your classmates will read will have a chance to read your stuff. And even if they do and respond, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to read their responses. So I want your responses to be posted periodically. Really important here. You lose points if you post all of your responses in a single 24-hour period. So if it's not the last 24 hours, but if you just pick one day and you do all your responses and you never come back and engage in any more conversation, you lose points for that. Rule of thumb, you have 5 responses. At least participate in these responses on 2 different days. Okay, I would like more than that, but as long as you're doing it on 2 different days, I'm okay with that. I wanted to point out here that you can earn some extra credit for citing resources. So this is showing me that you're not just shooting off the hip providing an opinion. And then you get extra credit for over engagement. So each response grade, you can actually earn up to an additional 15 extra credit points. So I just wanted to orientate these rubrics to you because this is going to help you in your orientation assignments. The only other assignment I did not talk about is your ticket out the door. You have one that's due in Module 4 and one that is due in Module 8. This is something I'll talk about a little later, and I'll probably post another video on that. Your check on learnings are simply a module quiz, and they're going to be really based on your reading and the module resources. So I think that's a good start here. I didn't want to post too long of a video, but I think that's a good start. If there's anything that you guys need, please shoot me an email. I look forward to interacting with you all throughout this course, and we will be we'll have a good time. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to shoot me an email.